When the Lord returns, He will not judge us merely by outward appearance or public reputation. According to 1 Corinthians 4 verse 5, when Christ comes, He will bring two things to light: the things hidden in darkness, and the motives of the heart. That means the Lord will look closely at what happened in our homes, how we lived as husbands and wives, how we raised our children, not what others saw in church, but what happened in private. In the unseen moments, in God's eyes, true faithfulness is measured not by public image, but by what we are in the dark, when no one is watching. If we concentrate on purity and humility in those hidden moments, the public life will automatically reflect God's light. And then there is the second thing: our motives. Why do we want a peaceful home or obedient children? Is it for people's approval, or for the glory of God? If our motive is God's glory, every small act of love in our family becomes sacred worship. Now, when we come to the husband and wife relationship, Ephesians 5 verse 21 gives us a profound truth: submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Most people jump quickly to verse 22, wives, submit to your husbands. But before that, the Lord says both husband and wife must mutually submit to one another in the fear of Christ. This verse is the doorway to understanding marriage as God designed it, not as a hierarchy of power, but a partnership of humility under Christ's lordship. A proud husband who ignores verse 21 can never truly understand verse 22. God calls both husband and wife to live in submission to Christ first, and only then to one another in love. In 1 Peter 3 verse 7, husbands are told to live with your wives in an understanding way, showing them honor as fellow heirs of the grace of life. That means husband and wife share the same spiritual. Yes, the husband has a leadership role, but it is modeled after Christ's leadership, not worldly authority, and Christ never dominates, never forces. He leads by love, humility, and sacrifice. In the same way, the wife's submission is modeled after Christ's submission to the Father. When Jesus lived on earth, He was equal with God, yet He willingly submitted to the Father's will. Submission, therefore, is not weakness. It is strength under control. It is a choice born out of love and reverence. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3 reveals the divine order. God is the head of Christ, Christ is the head of man, and man is the head of woman. This order does not mean inequality, for Christ is fully equal with the Father. It means voluntary submission for the sake of harmony and love. Likewise, a wife's submission does not make her inferior, it reflects the beauty of Christ's own heart, and a husband's headship does not give him control. It calls him to serve, protect, and love as Christ loves. Above both of them is Christ, the true head of every Christian home. That's why, if a husband asks his wife to sin, she has every right to say, no, because above her husband stands Christ, her ultimate Lord. She must obey him first. True submission never leads to sin, it always leads to holiness. True leadership never demands control, it always reflects Christ's character, in God's design. Marriage becomes a living picture of Christ and His church. The husband shows the love of Christ through sacrifice and patience. The wife shows the humility of Christ through submission and faith. Together, they display the beauty of divine unity. Two hearts, one spirit, one purpose, to glorify God in their home. So let every Christian home remember this truth. It is not the public image that God will judge, but the hidden life. Not the perfection of appearance, but the purity of motive. Not how loudly we speak of love, but how quietly we live it when no one is watching.